Do you know what? I'm trying to forget about Chelsea being knocked out 8-2 by PSG in the Champions League. I'm trying to forget that Chelsea cannot score a goal against Everton and end up losing the game 3-0. Poor defending, poor goalkeeping, poor attackers, everything. I'm trying to forget all that. It's the international break. I should be thinking about some of my players playing for their nations. I should be looking forward to what is supposed to be a quiet time for Chelsea Football Club. And I pick up my phone this afternoon and I see this. I see Kieran McGill. I see Matt Law, both confirming, according to Chelsea, that Liam Rosenior's job is safe, regardless of Champions League qualification. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to show you this tweet as well, because we've been here before. We have been here before. We have been told before that the job of Graham Potter is safe, safer than Fort Knox. And it wasn't. It wasn't at all. We knew that was BS. We knew that Enzo Maresca, we're going to talk about Enzo Maresca very quickly in a minute, but we knew that was BS when Enzo Maresca left, and Maurizio Pochettino. And now the same briefs are briefing us, telling us that Liam Rosenior, regardless of Champions League, bearing in mind the Champions League was the objective, according to the Blue Code Project, to get this season. Now, what I don't understand is, if that is the objective, if top four is the objective this season, how can anybody retain their job if they don't secure that? Some are going to argue that this is not Liam Rosenior's problem in its entirety, that this is an Enzo Maresca problem as well. He has inherited Enzo Maresca's squad. But one thing I want to make very, very clear, because it's come out today that Enzo Maresca actually did walk away from the project. Now, that is Maurizio Pochettino. That is Thomas Tuchel. That is also now Liam Rosenior potentially walking away from this project. And if I'm being completely honest, I think that we have to start questioning the sporting directors even more so. They are the ones employing these coaches and managers at this football club. And if I'm being 110% honest, there has to be more done to get these sporting directors at the football club, because we can't continue to have them here disrupting the club, the progress of the club. And I know a lot of people are going to say that this is more so down to some of the players as well, which I think it is. But we have to question, there's a pattern here. There's a pattern. Because even the briefings are telling us that we're still going to sign a centre-back, a goalkeeper, and a top-quality striker this season. And again, I would urge you not to fall for the PR BS that they are trying to feed you over this busy period for Chelsea. We need to get over the line. We need to get top four this season. We've got Man City in a couple of weeks. We've got Port Vale. Things haven't been going well. Let's start throwing out some PR. Don't fall for it. Do not fall for this madness, because I guarantee you from now, Liam Rosenior's job is at stake. If he does not get top four, he will not be here. I've said for 3 weeks on the bounce now, I hate that it's got to be him. I hate that he has to be the one that takes the bullets for these owners, because he's in the firing line. But he's not helping himself either, because if you're looking at the tactics that he's setting us up with, it isn't working. But this is crazy. This is absolutely mental that we're getting given. We're being recycled the same information. This is where Chelsea fans, we have to wake up, because this is now at a point where we still can't believe this. Surely this is almost like borderline gaslighting us to think that we are crazy for thinking that this project is working well. You can't tell me that Thomas Tuchel, Maurizio, I'm not going to put Graham Potter in there, but Maurizio Pochettino, Enzo Maresca, all three of them walking away from this project. Christopher Vivell walking away from this project. Luis Enrique walking away from this project. You can't gaslight me to think that all of those people are incorrect in thinking that this project is working, and in actual fact, they're the ones that are wrong. That is impossible. Impossible. Because we were told when Enzo Maresca left, 31st of December, we were told that he was sacked and he didn't want to work under the instructions of the owners. Now, some of that could be true, But we were told that he was sacked from the club. He didn't. They didn't like the vision, the direction that he was going in with the club, and they felt they needed to change a manager at the club. Well, now we've been told that that isn't the case. Now we're being told that because Enzo Maresca walked away from the project, that we've had to change our manager midway through the season, that this is why we are where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called gaslighting. This is called gaslighting by Blueco. And you can't, shouldn't, and should never allow that to happen, because first and foremost, this is a football club. This is a football club. So for me, the first thing that comes to mind is the results on the pitch. That's the first thing. Are we scoring goals? Are we getting 3 points every week? Are we going into the lesser stages of the Champions League, the FA Cup and the League Cup? If we're not doing those things, red flag. My second thing is transfers. Are you recruiting the right players? Are you recruiting the profile of player that's going to fit into that current manager's way of playing? Are you buying players that if you do need to change the manager, then you have different systems that player can play in? So it might suit someone like Liam Rosenior, or it might suit an Enzo Maresca, or it could suit the next manager that walks through the door at Chelsea. Are you buying the right profile of players? Are you overspending on players like Garnacho, Gittins? Are you overcompensating for them and fluctuating their price for no reason? Slash that with wages. Are you paying over the odds for wages? We've had our fingers burnt with Raheem Sterling. So those are the fundamental things. The results on the pitch, the players that you're bringing in, and then thirdly, going alongside that, of course, is have you recruited the right person to steady the ship and lead it in the right direction? And if we're being honest, and again, I hate to say this, but it is not Liam Rosenior. It cannot be him. He hasn't shown us any, and again, he shouldn't be in this job. Liam Rosenior should not be in this job. Purely and simply down to the fact that you've got other people ahead of him that you could go and pick from, Felipe Luis being one of them, that is more qualified and has more understanding of the football game as it is right now than, unfortunately, Liam Rosenior. Now, some are going to call that horrible, harsh, hatred, whatever, but let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. If Mauricio Pochettino was here, if Thomas Tuchel was here, and one of those two left, and we appointed Liam Rosenior, would you be happy with that appointment? If Jose Mourinho was here, Carlo Ancelotti, Antonio Conte, and then we went on to appoint Liam Rosenior, would you be happy with that appointment? The standards have dropped at Chelsea Football Club. We shouldn't even be expecting someone like Liam Rosenior to take over our football club. Some are going to say Liam Rosenior didn't have a choice but to take this job on. I would say to that Liam Rosenior had a massive choice in taking this job on. He didn't need to take the job. He could have continued at Strasbourg. He could have continued to develop his managerial ways, his tactical mind, his outlook on how he wants his teams to set up and play, get himself a domestic trophy in the French league, move to an English club before he takes this job on. I'm looking at Ashley Cole, the way that he's doing it. I'm looking at Cesc Fabregas and the way that he's doing it at Como as well. And I think maybe that's the route you should have taken before you took this massive job on, where you're walking into something that is already falling down and you're expected to save it from sinking. That is a job that he's got up against him. So all this PR stuff, all this nonsense about Liam Rosenior's job is safe, all I can ask from Chelsea fans is don't buy into it. Do not buy into it. This is a smokescreen to expect the pressure to come off Liam Rosenior by football fans. And match-going fans, fans from far and wide, you have every single right to question whether this is the right appointment. And you're not doing it in a harsh way. You're not doing it in a spiteful way. You're doing it because as football fans, you can clearly see that this man is not ready to take on this job. And that's all it comes down to. And I'm going to leave you all with this thought, because I think I might say this and it might have a lot of people in the comment section questioning my sanity, but I generally think we need to miss out on Champions League football next season. I generally think if we don't make Champions League next season, it's actually not the end of the world. Now, the reason I say that is because I think if we don't make Champions League football, then definitely 80 to 90%, I'm certain Liam Rosenior will be relieved of his duties as the Chelsea head coach. Now, I don't want to see anybody lose their job. I don't want anybody to, well, I take that back. I'd love the sporting directors to leave our football club. But in terms of the head coach, I would never want to see him lose his job on the basis that he's just not ready to take the job on. But if it means that Chelsea can progress forward, we can look at the wider impacts of what's going wrong with our football club. We have to make sure that if we do miss out on Champions League football, that we appoint the right person that can come in and take over from Liam Rosenior. You look at Manchester United this season, no Champions League football. They're looking comfortable. They're looking like they're going in the right direction. But we're going to talk about that more tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, notification. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Should Liam Rosenior keep his job, or should we look elsewhere in the summer? Does he even get to the summer before we get sacked? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow.